Y'all, so I'm in my little corner. Oh my God, y'all remind me. I got so many downloads as soon as I got ready to click on here. Right in my own little corner, in my own little chair. I can be whatever I want to be. I can build a fortress and y'all remember that? What was that? Cinderella, Cinderella, Cinderella. Then I heard the Itchy and Scratchy Show. Y'all. All right. So let's get to it, okay? Now, the first things first, right? When I go to record, y'all, for some reason, I get real. I'm tired. I need a nap, okay? I need a nap. I didn't drink some coffee. I didn't have some, I went out to eat with a friend, and oh my God, y'all, it was so funny. We went to go get some tacos, right? And I can only eat 2 tacos, but I got 3. And so they was like, is you gonna eat that? Like, you just gonna leave it there? And I'm like, I don't want it, right? I know when I'm done with something, right? I don't want it. And so they looked at it. I said, you gonna eat it? You want it? You can have it, right? And they kept saying they didn't want to really eat it, right? And so they was full. And so, y'all, I need to go sleep, okay? I don't know why the hell the other day, y'all, I was watching something and the teacher, Miss Trenchable, off of Matilda, popped up in my timeline, y'all. It was somebody that was dressed like her, y'all, and they nailed it, right? They nailed this costume of Miss Trenchable. And so today, y'all, I had to go do something, right? I had to go take care of some business, and I had to be there for like 3 hours. It's supposed to have lasted 3 hours, but only ended up lasting like 2 or something like that, maybe a little bit over 2. And so we went on here and got us something to eat, and when this person says, you gonna eat that? Like, they didn't really want it, right? But they was like, didn't want to waste it. And so I'm watching this person, they grab it, and they turned around, they went to say something to me, right? And their mouth was so full, right? And their teeth like they was missing because of the way they were trying to hold their food. And y'all, it was the craziest thing. And so I turned around and I said, are you going to eat that? Are you going to eat that? Right? This person cannot stand me, right? They be looking at me like, I just cannot. You are horrible, right? Ali, I don't need your help laughing. My bird is just, oh my God. It's mimicking because we have a mimic somewhere. We have one of those mimic people out there. You move, I move. Just like that. When I move, you move. Just like that. Hell no. It's somebody out there trying to be you better than you. And so, anyways, y'all, I gotta get my cover. Y'all, I'm tired. I don't want to be on here. I need a nap. Yeah, like, I prefer to go take a nap, okay? And so, anyways, y'all, my hair all over the place. Y'all to put my hair back because it's the end of the day. It's that time. It's that time. It's about that. It's about that time, okay? Y'all put my hair back. I just put my headphones back on because the beat goes on into these. What I'm saying goes into these until further. No, I got like 2 other mics, y'all, but I got 2 mics sitting over here, and I just I can't. Okay, I can't. And so y'all got so much. And so, anyways, y'all, I turned around. Y'all have forgot all about that. I seen. This is why I be waiting so long to do my uploads, because I be trying to see what God got for me, right? And y'all got so many uploads, and it was crazy that I be trying to hold all this information in my head. And a lot of times I forget about it until I get to a certain part of the conversation, and it'll come back up, right? And I allow God to use me, how he used me, right? How it needs to be had, right? And so it's crazy because I forgot about this. I forgot about that I seen the Miss Trenchable costume thing, right? And I'm like, why am I seeing this today, right? God, what we talking about here? And so later on, God brings it back up, right? And so today, we out to eat, right? And I'm like, Bruce, right? Why this person eating the taco, right? They shoving it. And I'm like, Bruce. Yeah, Bruce, you can do it, Bruce, right? But what's even worse about it, right, is that this person started doing it and didn't even notice that they was doing it. And they caught themselves doing it. Like, I hate you. Like, they was trying to shove the fucking taco down their throat. Like they was shoving that damn chocolate cake that Bruce was shoving. Y'all stop playing with me. They caught themselves like, what the fuck am I doing? Then, right, I was watching this lady and she was like, do it seem like when you going somewhere, like all of a sudden they end up packed? Like everywhere I go, y'all, it's like fucking Truman Show. Like, it don't be nobody in the place. And then when I go inside of these places, like they just be packed. Like, go, right? She in there, go, hurry. We gotta catch this scene, right? This is how I be looking at it. That's crazy because ding, y'all heard that ding? That was God letting me know that is what it is, right? Let me check my email, see what this was that came through. And so anyways, y'all had to put something on my face. My grandson said, was you playing in chalk? I said, what you talking about? He said, your face. Is it that's why it look like that? I said, what are you talking about, Monty? I said, oh, Nana forgot to miss her face. Kids don't got no goddamn filter, right? A motherfucker will let you walk out the house like a clown. Get you somebody's kid and put him in the forefront. Them motherfuckers gonna be like, what's going on? The fuck? You look unusual, strange, weird, peculiar today. Y'all, stop playing with me. He said, was you playing in chalk, Nana? I said, what you talking about? He said, your face. Lord, motherfucker, I've been outside all day with makeup on. Nigga, it done ran and everything. Bag up now. Leave me alone. Y'all said, I said, I went to go mist my face with my setting spray, y'all, again. Because you know after a while, it starts soaking in. And depending on the type of skin texture you got, right, it'll do that, right? Some people got oily faces. And so a lot of times, they makeup is reserved by the oils in their face. But with people with naturally dry skin, like my skin is dry. And so as the day go on, instead of it getting that where it might look like a little bit greasy or runny, it started looking like dry, like a damn clown. And he said, Nana, is you all right over there? Nana, you got chalk? You been playing in chalk? I said, hold on, let Nana go mist her face, nigga, so I can hydrate it. So I came back after I missed it. I said, how we look? He said, that's better. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even get the message out, y'all. I can't. My sister gonna set up the camera, wanting me to see him. She said, she called and she was talking to me for a minute and she was fine. And then she started getting my grandson because he goes over there for school and everything. She takes him to school. And y'all, he talks so proper. He said, I have to go to school in the morning. He said, I go to school in a little bit. I said, in a little bit? He said, in a little bit. I said, no, it's gonna be tomorrow. He said, I said in a little bit. He loves school, y'all. He turned around. Kids act, you know, who my granny used to say, you come back with that spirit on you. Granny, what did you talking about? That spirit on you. You got that spirit on you. Right. We explained that spirit on you in the last one. And the one before that. Hold on, y'all. I got my probiotic. I got my iron, my probiotic, my B12, and what's this middle one? Something else for the gut health. Y'all, when you start getting older, you gotta take your vitamins. You can't be slipping up like you used to do back in the days, honey. You go out, go kick it, come back, you cool. Right? Y'all, I remember I went out many years ago. And I went to my guy friend's house after I left from going out. Y'all, we had so much fun. And the next day I got up, I said, I'm going home. I don't feel good. I was not feeling good. Y'all had heartburn all the way down the street. I said, ooh, this that heartburn my grandmother was talking about, right? My grandmother said she used to go out and kick it. She used to be, y'all, she said she used to love her some fruity drinks. And she said that one time she went out with her homegirls and she said she had got some heartburn so damn bad. She said that she ended up, that was her last drink in ever. Right? That I felt her because it took me a long time to even want to have a drink after that. Like, once I said, ooh, I found out this what she talking about. Ooh, y'all. I know somebody that had a drunk, not a drunk, but a hangover heartburn. Right? They don't talk about that. Y'all, that took me, I went into remission for a year. I said, people like, you want to go out? Nope. And I was so young. I'm cool. I'm going home. I'm staying home. It ain't nothing outside. Hell no, nigga. I got heartburn last time I got fucking with you. With that shit, that 1738. What? What the hell, 1738? Nigga, I went to sleep on that 1738 and woke up in 2000. The fuck? Nigga, I'm not playing those games. You hear me? I'm too old. Let me get my coffee, y'all. Hold up. Because I'm going to go to sleep if I don't. Hold on, y'all. That's 1738. Woke up in 2020. And so, y'all, I'm cold. I gotta get my water. Y'all, I told y'all we getting too old for this. We need our water, right? You can't, hey, y'all, I used to drink like water. And I would drink like certain waters and it was real expensive, like Essentia. Essentia is not no cheap water. And I was getting it when it was like top tier, okay? When the water was good, was worth buying. Now the water's not worth buying. But anyways, y'all, you can't miss out on your water no more, none of it, right? When I miss a day of water or ain't drinking enough water, your body get to screaming, mercy, mercy. It ain't about what you like no more. We need we need greens, we need water, we need this. You've been eating too much of this or too less of that. It's crazy how your body lets you know things. But anyways, y'all, I had to go to this place today. And the one woman, it was two women in here, right? In this place. And I'm not going to stick too hard off on it. But they both was nice, right? But I could tell that the one woman was more upright than the other one, right? The one, she was righteous in her behavior, and the other one was a little conning. But she's like, oh, tell them that they didn't do too well because we need this money. You understand what I'm saying? Tell them that we need to go over that 3 or 4 more times because we need to get paid from them, right? They are our work hours. You got to be very careful out here nowadays and getting yourself involved in anything, right? Because I mean, even the most mundane things, because it's so corrupt now. Like, I seen what the one person was doing versus the other one. And it was just disgusting. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, it's people in here coming in here to do to do something that's right? To do something that's rewarding for themselves. And you got people in here trying to what's the proper word for it? Sustain themselves off of what somebody else is trying to do. You understand? Like, the corruptness right now is at an all-time high, and this shit is biblical, right? This stuff is biblical. Like, we get to watch it go down in our face. Like, ain't nobody hiding it. They corrupt as all hell. And it's crazy because I just seen this video, and it showed in this video that this girl went for an interview, and when a lady stepped out, she left her purse in the room, and this girl was going through her purse, right? This African-American young woman went in there for an interview, and when the lady stepped out of the office, for a second, she left her purse in there, which wasn't the right thing to do, right? But sometimes you could, if that's your office and you there 24/7, right? A lot of times you put your stuff in there and you're not thinking to take your bag with you. A lot of times, by you being comfortable in that area, and that's your area, you wouldn't think to have to look back at that situation, right? And I'm trying to say this in the most, because people touchy these days. She said, y'all ain't touchy as hell out here. Who do you think you are? I gotta come and see you with that Cool Water Ranch on. And they walk around with Bengay on out here after us. Stop playing with me, Cool Water Ranch. Stop playing with me. Anyways, y'all, I gotta go get me a water here in a minute. But it's crazy how they show this. They were so quick to show this woman going through this lady purse, right? But when the roles is reversed, they don't show that. Why y'all don't show that? And what's crazy is it was cameras in this room where I went to. And I had my bag on the floor. I had my little book bag on the floor. Y'all wasn't unknown in there. What you gonna find? Girl, you want $1? What you looking for? Right? But I had to go get some tissue because my nose is running. You know, you go in certain areas and certain places, the ventilation in these places don't be too well, right? And so they be dusty and all that. So my nose began to like run. I was talking to her for a minute. I said, hold on, I gotta go get me some tissue. And she got to show me where the bathroom is. But by the time I came back, all right, y'all. I gotta watch what I say because people out here touchy these days, right? Everybody do it behind closed doors, right? And group up to do things. But when you say certain stuff, everybody touchy. Everybody, oh. So let's get to it. So anyways, y'all, I'm trying to figure out what type of energy, essence, je ne sais quoi, energy that I hold, because y'all, it's like my energy draw in the worst type of people, and my energy draws the worst out of people, and I know I'm not the only one. Like, it's some of us where when you walk into a room, like, you bring the creepiness out of people, right? Y'all, I went into this place today, and this woman was like on me. Like, I'm sitting there going over my little stuff, right? And she was just such a sweetheart, but she was like on me. She was such a sweetheart though, y'all. But the other one, it's like I could tell that she's trying to bully her into doing things that she don't want to do, right? You know how you could look at people and see that one might be upright and up forth, right? Forthcoming, like they do things the right way, right? Integrity, they got integrity. And then you always got that one who have no type of integrity. They crooked, they don't like themselves, crooked letter eye, humpback eye, right? And I just watched this woman keep trying to bully this woman. I watched this woman just, like, this woman was being genuine and want to help. This woman was being genuine and want to see people doing good. This woman was doing her job, right? What she get paid to do. But I can tell that they deliberately holding people back so they can have a job, right? It's the saddest thing that I seen today. And I watched somebody, like, basically be bullied into doing something. And I heard the one woman say, well, they won't know, right? Like, they won't know. Because we could just put that inside of there and, like, they wouldn't know this, right? And it's, like, it's crazy because it's, like, our energy bring out the worst in people. And it's like, even when they think that they hiding something, they're not hiding it, right? She tried to put it into a terms where, like, it was normal what it was they was doing. But then she was doing nasty stuff to get a reaction. Like, it was just crazy to me. Like, I can tell that it's people going into spaces in between spaces and places, right? Do this, do that, do this, do that. And it's like they're approaching one, if not both people, right? I can tell the one lady, she really didn't know what was going on and what the other lady was doing. Y'all, then me and the ladies back there talking. I mean, beautiful woman. I mean, she don't deserve that, right? She do not deserve to work around that type of person, because that type of person will drag her down to the pits of hell, right? Because they can't get over their unhealedness within themselves, right? This woman was so bothered by my presence, I made her squirm in her seats, right? And most of us do that. It ain't about looks. It ain't about none of that. It's about the energy and essence that you carry, right? And I always tell people, it's your connection to the Most High God. It's your favor in God, right? Like, she squirmed and she heard a lady back there. I mean, this was a beautiful, I mean, like, her, you could just tell her soul was just so sweet, right? She just deserved all good things. I'm so upset for her that she had to go through this and endure the level of uncomfortability. And the lady was back there and she was talking to me and she said my name. And I said, I think you're the first person that got my name right. And she said, well, it literally says, like, your name is said the way it's spelled. And I said, oh my God, I've always said that, but you know, they just can't never get it right, right? We kind of laughed about it and chuckled. I said, I'm just big ups to you for getting it right, right? And so she heard me and a woman back there talking, and she was just like so bothered. She was so bothered the whole time. Thank God she wasn't the one who got up. Like, it's like she sat there purposely not getting up, wanting to help. But then once the other woman, and I was back seeing that, once she seen that the other person was getting attention, that me and her got along the way we got along, it's like she was bothered. And so she was squirming in there in the other room in her seat, right? She could not wait to get up and interfere in any kind of way. And so once I asked the lady something, I said, I just want to make sure I'm reading this, understanding this right. I said, I understand this, and that, but I still want to make sure I'm understanding it right. And she was like, no, you got it, you good, right? But she just went over and she, you know, kind of said something to me, and she said it in a certain type of way so I can understand what it was that I was doing. And so when she came in there just to make sure and see how far along I was, the other woman jumped up and she's acting like she's going over the paperwork, and she's acting like, right, this woman already went over everything with me, so it was no reason for her to give, oh, and your ID is right there, and da-da-da-da. And I'm looking at her, but I see what she's doing, right, and I kind of chuckle, right, because I know how I make people feel. And the way you make me feel, hey, it really turns me on, hey. That's why I got somebody's granddaddy with some Cool Water Ranch. Been gay on chasing me down. I'm gonna stop you. I mean, I guess. And so, y'all, I just seen the most ridiculous stuff, right? It's like the more I go outside, right, the more I find it funny. Because y'all, I be chilling in the house. I be minding my business, right? I be in my own little world. Hey, when I went outside today, it's like, oh, hell. Y'all gotta put it together. Put it together, Kelly, put it together. Put it together, Kelly, put it together. Then we make up. Put it together, Kelly, put it together. Y'all gotta put it together. Wait a minute. And so, y'all, all hell broke loose. When I walked outside, it was like, welcome to hell. Like, what? What's going on? And so, anyways, y'all. So I sit there, right? I go through the little thing, because she was like, you can put your file thing over inside the little file cabinet thing. She was like, you can store by your first or your whatever. But it wasn't that. I already knew how to store it. It was that the way it was stored in there was so out of control that I'm like, damn. Like, you know, you file something, and then, like, when you file it in between the little things, right? And it had the little stoppers in there, but some of it was filed in between that. So I was kind of, like, looking like, damn, how do I put in this part, that part, whatever, right? So I'm kind of just looking through, right? And then I'm being nosy, making sure that everybody got the same paperwork in there that I got, right? Is they taking some of my paperwork, keeping some of my paperwork? Because this is the type of shit that I've been dealing with. It's sad, right? But I know, right? I deal with this type of shit, right? Where somebody always trying to cut a corner, somebody always trying to do something slick, somebody's always adding something and taking something, somebody always doing something they ain't got no business doing, right? And so I just kind of like peeked through when I was doing what I was doing, right? And so, and then people, for some reason, people like to half-ass explain things to me. I'm going to figure it out anyways, right? I mean, just fall. I just want to take that lady and fold her up and put her in my pocket and just run out the door with her. Like, come on, you have to endure this, right? We all feel, everybody, even the girl sitting in there, she just looked up like, oh my God, is this happening right now? Yeah, it's happening. It's happening, Becky. It's happening. Yeah, it's happening. The dude kept looking up like, oh my God, they're weird. They're weird. What's happening, right? Oh my God, y'all. And then I take my little computer and stuff, right? Because I didn't know, right, for what it was that I was doing, if they was going to have the proper stuff, right? I got to bring my own stuff. What do I need to do? How do I need to do this? And she said, no, we got everything, this, that, and the other. And she would come over there and she was messing with my bag. And she was like, my God, this bag is so cute. And da-da-da-da. I said, thank you. And she, like, really wanted me to unzip it. Like, let me see what's in there, right? I could see, like, I pick up everything off everybody, right? And it's the worst shit ever. Let me see what's in there. Let me see. Open the bag up, right? I wanted to open the bag up for her so bad, but I didn't open it up because of the other woman. It was so bothered, right? She wanted me to open it up so she can see what was in there. And that's why I didn't open it. Me and the other woman, we'll do it on our own time. We can go through our I'll go through it with her another day, right? I might take it back in there so we can go through stuff and play in paper and shit. Y'all, I love my people, right? I love the ones that's down for me. And so, anyways, y'all, that lady wanted to be crooked so bad. The other one, she wanted to be crooked so bad. Like, if she could change the numbers, the date, and the time, she would, right? If she could take my name off the thing, she would, right? If it wasn't other witnesses around, she would she would try her hardest to be grimy as fuck. So, anyways. So when I go up there, I sit up there, right? Instead of them just saying, once you're done with this part, you can go ahead and go. And then when you come back on this day, you can go ahead. We'll finish the rest, right? So I went up there and I said, okay, I didn't know if I was going to be doing nothing or not. So I did my part that I needed to do in the back. And then I came up in the front, stored my stuff, and I ended up sitting down. And so I'm still kind of talking to the one woman. She was saying different stuff, and he was kind of going through the computer stuff together. And I see him looking at the computer stuff, and I see the one, she just kept trying to make anything into something, right? And I'm just looking like, okay. So I sit down for a second. And the other dude, I just see him keep like looking up like over his stuff like, oh my gosh, she's fucking weird, right? Everybody think that people is okay until a certain person come in and bring out that side in that person, right? I think that some people should have been done, and they've been doing things to keep them there, to keep themselves a job, right? That's what I seen today. And so, as soon as I got out of there, one of my family members called, and I told them, I said, yeah, this and this going on. I said, girl, I think they in there. She said, what did you see? What did you see, right? Because she know I'm tapped in. What did you see? Let's be messy. What you see, right? So I said, no, what they're in there doing is purposely, I said, I think that people are way further ahead. And I said, it's sad that people coming inside of a place to do a thing for themselves, right? Something that's supposed to be celebratory, right? And it's being twisted. It's being corrupted because somebody wants a job. I said, it's just, that's what I seen. And she said, damn, right? She said, I knew you was going to see something, right? You always see something, right? And I said, anyway, so y'all, as I'm sitting there, the other girl, the lady, right, the corrupt one, we're going to call her the corrupt one. When I went up there, she purposely said my name like wrong like 3 or 4 times. She said, oh, I thought it was this, and I thought it was that. Like, she just started making up stuff. I thought it was this, and I thought it was this, and this, that, and the other. Like, she just kept making up stuff, right? And see, I told you where I stay at. This is a small city, state, and town. I mean, not state, but a small city, right, that I stay in. And so everybody know everybody, right? And she most definitely seemed like one of the ones who was helping a person that I was dating family to stalk my home and to do all this weird stuff, right? This place is very small. It's always somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, or that's related to somebody that knows somebody, right? It's that small here. And so I just watched this woman. She said my name like wrong like 6 different times, just like want to get up under my skin. I just turned around and started laughing, right? And I said, girl. I said, most people get it wrong. I said, she's the first person that got it right, you know. And I said, I'm so proud of her, right? She just deserves everything, right? And she said, they're like, well, I thought it was this. She just kept going, I thought it was this. I said, no, she's the one. She got it right. She got it right, like on a point, like on cue, like first time around. She ain't have to think. She ain't have to guess. She just got it right. She just read it the way. I just thought. Like, he's like, I just thought. Like, bitch, calm down. All right. Y'all, they out of control. Y'all, movie having them out of control. Y'all gotta be there to believe me, to see it, right? I done watched the weirdest stuff go down, right? Like, I done went inside of places and people be stealing. They be going through purses, right? They want to put a video of our kind doing something on the internet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Why is y'all not placing what they be doing? Why y'all be putting that all over the internet? Tea or water? Water or tea? Okay. Why they don't place that type of shit on the internet? Y'all, I work at this one place, right? They were so corrupt. I was talking to one of my family members. I used to always talk to one of my family members. Just throw my little head buddy in, y'all, because they were so fucked up inside of this place that it wasn't the last place I worked, but it was a workplace before that. That I was talking to a family member. They was like, nah, the owner see what's going on, but the owner is the one who got him doing it. He said, Moo, how you working in somewhere, a big organization, right? And he said, them people be looking in. He said, even if they not right there, he said, that's why his cameras everywhere. They can sit right at their home and look in. He said, that damn owner that grew obsessed with you because you in there like a little what do you say, a mini-me? He called me Oompa Oompa. He don't not say Oompa Loompa. So he say Oompa Oompa. He said, you a Oompa Oompa. And they're throwing stuff around, right? And they're doing this. He said, they purposely putting you in places to fail. And you in there showing out, right? He said, then when you walk into places, right? He said, they see that he said, anywhere you walk into, right? This is an elder in my family. He was like, anywhere you walk into, like the place be lit, right? He said, that's just because it's your energy, right? He said, it's your spirit. It's just who you are. He said, you go inside of a place. He said, everybody, I said on another one of my videos, how you doing, Charlie Brown, right? Everybody walking around with their head hanging low, right? Everybody walking around, hang low, sweet chariot. Okay, they on my little chair thing. I'm looking for my dogs. I'm like, hold on, I ain't seen them in a minute. And so, anyways, he said, me and him was talking, right? We were always talking. He would tell me about what was going on around him. You know, we catch up about our days and stuff, what was going on throughout the days and the nights and the nights and the days. And so I was telling him what was going on. I said, damn, my damn Mickey Mouse cup that came up missing. Because when my son was born, you know, when you have a child, you normally pick out a theme for that child. And my son's theme was Mickey Mouse. And so I had this little Mickey Mouse thermo cup, y'all. He had his little Mickey Mouse car seat. He had the Mickey Mouse stroller. Y'all, I had one that bought him a Mickey Mouse playpen. Had the little thing at the top. Y'all, he had Mickey Mouse everything, right? And so what was the stroller, right? Because you know with the car seats and the stroller, you can click them on top of each other, and then it got the little drink holder thing right there. So I had a little Mickey Mouse thermo to match his stuff. And so y'all, when my son passed away, of course I'm still gonna take my cup and stuff with me, y'all. They stole my Mickey Mouse thermo cup. They stole my car keys, y'all. It was you know how you go on break? I was working inside of a factory, so we was going on. It was for Christmas. It was Christmas break. And so for Christmas break, we was going to be gone for like 4 or 5 days. Y'all, the day that we was leaving was our last day of work, y'all. Why the hell my damn key? We went on our last break. When we came off our last break, I set my keys down somewhere. And 10 times out of 10, I threw my keys over in my purse, which was like a little bag, my little work bag that I carried around with me working in the factory and stuff. Knowing I had snacks and different stuff. I had my little lock. I had other little stuff that I had in my purse pertaining to work. And I would throw my keys over in there. I think this particular day, I either threw my keys over in my bag or I ended up sitting them up on the station where I thought I was going to work at. Because later on in the day, my supervisor came up to me. He was like, hey, we need you over here. Can you come help her out over here? Right? It was just like a random job that they was trying to throw everything together and hurt and get it out. And so I said, yeah, I can go over there and help her, this, that, and the other, right? I've always been a person, I don't turn down nothing. I don't care where I work at, right? I'm good at everything I do. And so, and it's not being boastful. It's not none of that in my ego. And I'm like, no, it's not none of that. I'm just a great worker, period. Always been a great worker. And so, when you come from nothing, you tend to be a 10 times harder worker than most people. And so anyways, when he asked me if I want to do it, I said, yeah. And so I either grabbed my purse and threw my keys over in there, especially coming off a break and somebody coming up to me. I either would have set my stuff up on a workstation where I was working at because we had computers in these areas for different orders, or I took it with me over to the next place and I threw it over my purse. And my keys came up missing. Do y'all know that my keys was missing for a week? I was walking around looking for it, and these motherfuckers was helping me walk around. He was like, did you leave them in your car? I said, no, because 10 times out of 10, y'all, they so mentally ill that they was literally outside helping me break into my car for like over 2 hours, which I really didn't need to. I was going to call, what is that, like the AAA or whatever, when they come out and unlock it. But one of the maintenance man, he knew how to unlock cars and stuff like that. So he was like, shit, I'm going in there, I'm going to get this and I'm going to do it. And so he ended up helping out or whatever. But later on, when I started seeing how, because I was still kind of new, right? Later on, I wasn't super new, but I was still in that phase where I didn't know who all knew who and I didn't give a fuck, right? And so later on, when I started going to different departments, right? And I started seeing how everybody was connected. Do you know that I went the whole week without my car and without my car keys? Somebody had to come pick me up from work and my car keys. My car stayed at the job for that whole week. Oh, yes. My car stayed for that whole break that we was on. And thank God my granddad had his pickup truck and I had another friend. He had a car and all this stuff. So I was cool, right? My family, they souped up when it come to cars. So I'm going to get where I need to go anyway. So I left my car up there. And so when my friend came to pick me up from work, he was like, one of them weird ass motherfuckers got your keys. He said, I don't think that is who, he said, I don't think it's who you think it is. He said, I think that they all involved in it, right? He said, they all too jealous of you. They all too weird. He said, even all this head supervisors, all of them, right? He said, even the damn owner. He said, they're all fucking weird, right? Because we had like something else that we went to with the Christmas party and he just watched how everybody was just looking at me and watched me. I wasn't paying attention. I was in my own world. And so anywhere I go, y'all, I be in my own little world, right? And so he's going to pay attention. He's a man. And so I was like, I asked him, I said, you want to go to my Christmas party with me? And so when we come from the Christmas party and then a week after, right, we going on vacation for 5 days from work and my keys come up missing the day we leaving out. And then he was like, no, they purposely did that when you have a miserable weekend. He said, they're all fucking weirdos. He said, do you see how they was looking at you at the fucking Christmas party? He said, they're fucking weird. Like weird. He said, what made it even worse is that all their wives were sitting there and their wives looked creeped out. I'm like, what? What was going on now? He like, yes. He said it was disgusting. He said I was so embarrassed. But what's crazy is when we was there, like his face was red, right? He Mexican and white. So I kept like looking at him like, why is you look like you blushing? Or like, why is your face red like that, right? I thought maybe it was just too hot or whatever. And he never said nothing until my keys came up missing. He was like, they're fucking weirdos. Every last one of them are weirdos. They're obsessed. They're obsessed. He said, what the fuck is going on? Like, they're obsessed. They're obsessed with you. They stole your car keys. They're weirdos, right? You need to run. And so, he said, they're going to try to break in your house. They're all weirdos. They have your addresses. It's the HR. It's everybody, right? Yeah. So when I go back to work, and he go back to work, right? He was so pissed off, right? And throughout the time, we went back and forth up there to go check and make sure my car was still there and all that, right? And it was so much stuff going on, right? People mouths would be on the floor. I don't even feel like getting into it, right? I mean, these motherfuckers that drove past my house. Even after I left, y'all, I walked straight out. I got so tired of them that I just had to walk straight out. The one supervisor with his weird ass, he stunk. He was dirty. And he would go down and push my parts up, just be pushing the parts up, throwing a whole bunch of parts from other lines, throwing them on my conveyor belt, going to the computer, switching the numbers so the parts can get wrong prints on them, right? And then they wondering why their customers are dropping them, right? Look on the cameras. Ain't you on the cameras anyways? Like, right? But the owner was involved. So, people are, it amazes me just how fucked up some people are mentally, right? People think because people are wealthy and rich, right, that they're okay mentally, right? A lot of those people who are rich and they are not dealing with their mental health, they'll deal with their physical health a lot. They'll work on their physical health a lot, but their mental health is foul, right? They was raised to be a certain type of way to take over this business, and their mental health is not all right, right? I gave another example about Little Billy, John and Little Billy, and I can't remember if I posted that, right? I said you had Little Billy in the background, right? And he was getting his shit together, and he was searching for God. And meanwhile, John, father and grandfather, was raising him to be the head takeover of the takeover, and you operate like this, and you don't operate with emotions, and you don't whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, right? But something about Little Bill, he took a liking to God. And see, the only reason why they knew Little Bill and John came together when they got older is because they family been in business together all these years. But something happens when Little Bill take over, right? And he comes into contact with John, and they say, oh, well, our family member's been doing business for X, Y, and Z. But see, the thing about Little Bill is he have morals and values, right? He trusts in the Lord. He was out there as a child up under the bed reading a book about Jesus, and he just like took a liking to the Lord. You understand? And so he said he's going to do things righteous, and he's going to do it the right way. And see all his workers and his people satisfied and his family satisfied. Meanwhile, the other one, he's operating an ego. He don't have a family. If he do got one, a lot of times they're separated, right? It's always about business. The wife is unhappy, and they all got some weird ass shit going on, like 50 Shades of Grey type shit. Don't touch me. I'm scarred there. I'm a man. It's a man's world. It's a man's world. But see, hold on, wait, let me tell y'all. See, Little Bill, his granddaddy and daddy was teaching him the same thing that John's father and grandfather was teaching him. Business, chest up, chest out. Don't give a dang about nobody. You replace them. You replace them. Business, money, business, finances, money, business. Operate with no heart. A teeny. Wizard of Oz style. No courage, no wisdom, no integrity. And for the love of money. Gotta go get that money for the love of money. And see, Little Bill was up under the bed. His granddaddy and his daddy was like, yeah, hear me, Little Bill? You be like this, and you be like that, and you be like this, and you be like that. And for the love of money. But nobody knew that Little Bill took the Bible and was up under his bed with a flashlight, reading God's word, right? And he said, I want to be the righteous man. I want to be king. I want to be like that one guy in the Bible. That one who went and said, he's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. I want to be that guy. I want to go and worship God. I want to do things in the upright. And Little Bill, grandfather and father said, Little Bill, are you hearing us? You operate with no heart. It's about the love of money. It's about sustaining this lineage and this business. You're going to marry her. You're going to be with them, or you're not going to have anyone. You hear me? You operate like this. You hear me? You hear me, Little Bill? Do you hear me, John? Now, meanwhile, these are two people from two separate families, but their families are billionaires, and they say, come together. We've been doing business since the days of dawn and the dawns of days. Since the slavery days, we traded slaves, and you better not marry that black woman. And see, little John grew up in a session with what he couldn't have. And what did his pappy and his daddy say? He couldn't have a blacker woman. A blacker woman. And so, many. And so, John says, Pappy and Daddy said, I can't have a black woman. And so I'm going to grow an obsession with them. I'm going to grow up an obsession with them. I'm going to be a weirdo. And I'm going to make them suffer. You supposed to be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, I say. My dad said that they're like this, and my papa said that they're like that. And how dare you come up in here and prove them wrong and have a backbone and have some brains about yourself? You supposed to be a barefoot and pregnant. You supposed to be on your back. You ain't supposed to know how to read, says my pappy, right? And little Bill like, well, I'm going to give everybody a fair shot. And I know that my dad and my granddad told me to do it like this, but I don't think that's right. I don't want to be like the king who Meshach Herorat. What is it? Meshach Herorat in the Bendigo, right? I don't want to be like that king who threw Meshach Herorat in the Bendigo in the fire. I don't want to be like him. And so, you know, because he wouldn't listen to God, and he had to go out there on all fours and eat like a beast in the field because he kept talking about they ain't what God said he was, and he went out there to prove a point after he got the message because he said, who can interpret this dream, right? Who can interpret this? And he told all of his men to go out there and get them people off. And he said, if can't nobody interpret this, I'm gonna burn y'all all up. I'm gonna take y'all all out of here, right? I'm off with your heads. Off with your heads. Since y'all can't interpret this, right? And so Meshach Herorat and the Bendigo, right, got on their donkeys and settled in. They said he about to do what? He said to the prophets, to the people who read the tarot cards, to the this, to the that, if they can't interpret whatever, whoever got that title, off with their heads, right? And so Meshach Herorat and the Bendigo got on their donkeys and they said, they said, what? He said to do what? He told them to go in everybody's town and do what to him? Hold up, right, wait, let's go to God. Bow your head. God now, he talking about he gonna do this and he gonna do that and he gonna do this and he gonna do that. And God, we come before you today to tell you, homeboy ain't okay. Okay, right? And so Meshach Herorat and the Bendigo had to go to God. They went on their travels and they asked God, we need you to tell us how to interpret this because this fool crazy. This fool that lost his mind. He said off with their heads now. And so they went on ahead and they got up to the kingdom and they said, we need to see the king so we can interpret his dream because he out here tripping, right? And the king said, could you tell me what this mean and that mean? And they said, we gonna tell you. Sit down for this because we don't know if you're gonna like what we got to say, but we covered by the big guy, right? So you gonna hear, since you want to cut people's heads off and since you want to act a plumb fool, let me tell you what that dream mean, right? You was better off not knowing, for real, bruh. But since you went there, let's go all the way there. Now have a seat. And he said, tell me. And they said, well, it means that I say that he really should have stayed blind while he was going out there trying to commit crimes because he had a title. Preach. Because he had a title, right? And what I tell y'all, God don't get a baby in a fool. So if he would have stayed a fool to what it was that he seen, he would have been all right. You understand? And so since he wanted to know that bad to the point where he was going to go to everybody's kingdom and lands and get to chopping people apart and doing all kind of weird stuff, right? Because he was who? Because he was what? Because he had what title? Okay. So they got to him. So go ahead and sit down. Go ahead and sit down for this, bruh, since you out here clowning. Yeah. Well, that means that tree was representation of you. This was representation of that. And this was representation of that. And that means that you're going to get chopped down. You understand? Chopped down. And, right? As a matter of fact, and then he went and said, oh, that's what that means? Oh, okay. That's what that means? Oh, okay. Praise them, give them glitter, gold, feed them. They get to sit up in here with me. They get to sit up in the penthouse. These my bros for life. Yep, and I love the Lord. Hallelujah. And he went on praising the Lord and talking about how good God is. You know, faking the funk, right? And then one day he woke up again. Feeling a certain type of way again, right? Once he was cool and he got in the groove and he was like, okay, I'm in the clear, right? I'm in the clear. So I can go back to being pig-headed. Right? I can go back to being pig-headed. I can go back to feeling how I felt because time has passed. And who are these dudes up in here eating my food for free anyway? And matter of fact, go out there and build a bull. And we going to worship the bull. Tell everybody to hit the courtyard right now. Wake them about they sleep. Listen to the pure ignorance of that. Tell them to stop what they doing right now because the king said. Because I said, right? These people crazy, ain't they? Ain't they crazy? They something else, y'all. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Because we on the road. And so, once time cleared itself, he got to feeling some type of way. He got the creeping up in there again. He got the, so I creep. Yeah, I be, and now that, hey. And nobody has to know. And so I creep. Yeah, hey. And so he got to, feeling itself once again. And so he said, what they doing up in here? They eat my food for free. God ain't God. God ain't who God said he is. There ain't none of that, right? I'm the king. I get to make all these decisions and choices. It's me. It's me. It's me. I get to make all these decisions and choices. I get to do whatever I want because I can. Because I can. Because I hold this title. Because I got the money. Because I'm the king. Because it's me. Because it's me. Because it's me. Who, me? Yeah, it's me. I'm the king. I can do what I want. And the king. And the king. I don't need a queen. And so, he got up, put on his nice and tidy robe, and he said, what y'all fools doing out here? Don't y'all got a job to do? And why is they eating my food, these three dudes, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego? I don't care that they told me that. That was months ago. About a week ago. It was about, some time had passed, y'all. I don't think it stated about how long had passed. I don't know. We ain't getting into that. See, we gonna miss the point. Q, it's the Q. It's the Q. You understand? We don't want to miss the Q. And so, the Q, y'all, wait till we get to the punchline. And so, he got to feeling himself once again. And he said, go out there and get all these silver and gold and make a bull. And tell everybody to stop what it is that they doing right now. Because I said so. Because I said so. Because it's me. Because it's me. Because I said it. Like, it don't have to be another reason behind it. It's because I'm the king. Right? And so, y'all, I got another one for y'all. Go hand in hand. And so, y'all, this one I wrote down. I got to figure out what I wrote it at because I be writing so much stuff, y'all. I wrote the names down and stuff. And so, anyways, y'all, everybody came to see what this king wanted. What did he want now? It's always something with this dude. It's always something with this dude. What do he want now? What other destructive plans have he came up with? And so everybody gather in the courtyard. He say, I want everybody to worship this bull. This is the new God right here, this bull. This gold, this right here, this. And they like, did he not get the picture the last time? That the other guys just came and told him what it was. He just made all that noise. They told him, and he was cool. And now he back on this again. Everybody standing in the courtyard like, come on, y'all, for he try to kill us out here. Come on, y'all, for he chop our goddamn heads off this motherfucker. Somebody get this motherfucker out of here. Pure ignorance. Come on, y'all. If I catch one of you mother not worshiping this bull, it's going to be off with your head. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. Nah. And so, they got the worshiping, and Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego turned around and said, stop, Nola. Turned around and said, I'm not doing that. My God is, up there, over here, and might be standing right here with us right now, but he see what you doing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. What they say, omnipresence, everywhere in all things, right? He everywhere in all things and everything and stuff. You understand? What my great used to say, and everything and stuff. Everything and stuff. God is everything and stuff. And so, he looking dead at you right now. He knew your heart before, okay, you back on this. And he said, if y'all don't worship this, like the rest of these people doing, and they only worship it because you threatening them. They don't care about who you is, you threatening them. You abusing your authority. You abusing your authority. You abusing your position. Y'all see? They've been doing it since the beginning of time. Abusing their positions and their authority. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. That don't make their minds right because they hold a certain position. It's been showing us that since the beginning of time. That these people don't be okay. And so, go build a bull. You was bored as hell. You were just challenging God. You just felt some type of way because you got checked in the spirit. You was mad as hell. You couldn't wait to do it. And God knew your heart. Oh, yes, he did. He knew your heart. And so, Meshach and them said, we not doing that. We not doing that. Right? And I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, that he ended up having another dream or something like that in between. And they had to interpret that dream again. But I'm not 100% sure. And so, because I haven't read it and watched it in such a long time, y'all. And so, I'm just going over the basics because this is what God wants. We're here. And so, I skipped over 8 different things, and that's all right. Somebody work with me. 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 Because there's always somebody watching. Talking about, I'm the one. I was supposed to be the one. Who you think you is? Pressure, who gonna check up? I'm gonna report ya. I'm gonna report ya. I teach ya. I block ya. I'm gonna change your numbers. I show ya. I'm gonna eat off the top of ya. I show ya. I'm gonna come in your little town and get people to do this and do that. Because I'm the king, right? See, this is why this story gotta be told. And so, they said, we not serving that, sir, whoever you are. We're not doing it, right? And he said, oh yeah, y'all got one more time before one more time to tell me y'all not gonna do that, and I'm gonna throw you in the fire. So he said, hold up, y'all. Hold up. Y'all stay right there. He turned around and told his guards, go light that fire. 150,000 degrees. I want them to melt as soon as it touch them, right? So, I forgot what part. Oh, so y'all almost forgot what part I was on. Somebody just called me. See, that's why I can't take the calls, because I be all over the place. I'm not gonna be on here for hours. It's over with today. I'm not doing it. And so, anyways, y'all, let me turn this back this way with my little Rugrats. I had my son's baby shower Rugrats, and I had bought 2 of these. My sister only used one of them because she threw my baby shower for me, and I kept the other one. I used it as a backdrop because, y'all, this ain't made of plastic. This made of cloth, honey. That's made of cloth. I told her, where's my other one at? I don't know what she did with it because I need them both. Them things was not cheap. I don't care if they was $10. It's still not cheap. For 2, it's $20. That's who throwing $20 in the trash. Not these days. And so, anyways, especially the way they hunting us down. The way they hunting us down, looking for us, trying to affect our finances out here. They be mad as hell that us women be out here smart like this. Barefoot and pregnant. I say it. Me, Shahia, right in the video. I say it. Anyways, y'all, so they want you to complain. Just be a man about it. Hey, they can't even be a man about it. And why you gotta bother me? Just be a man about it. Hey, you sitting in the background playing all up in my face. You really losing. Hey, while I'm winning, cause honey, as long as you got your peace, you don't need nothing. That's it. All you need is your peace. Shoot fly, don't bother me. Anyways, y'all. So, y'all, he got me. He said, I'm gonna give y'all one more time. Because they just lit that up. They just lit that fire up, right? And I'm gonna give y'all one more time to go on and worship my Buddha. They said, well, you might as well go ahead and do what you need to do because we're not doing it, right? Y'all, he was not playing no games. He threw him in the fire. And he threw him in that fire, right? I might be getting 2 of them mixed up. Because there's so many with these fallen kings, right? So many stories. And so they said he threw him over in the fire. And when he threw them over in the fire, I want to make sure, I'm going to do a little homework. When he threw him over in the fire and they walked out and they said that he just got down and, oh my God. Started praising him, right? I guess he really is real. R-E-A-L. Real. Not R-E-E-L. I guess God is real. Oh my God. Yes. He's real. And what ended up happening is he did not listen. And so I think that, I can't remember if it was, let me say the names right. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's their names. Y'all, my sister was cracking up laughing when I say it like that because I meant it. Meshach, Rat, and Abednego. Not necessarily talking about the characters. We're talking about these people in our groups that's rats, right? I got my own theory in the way my mind make up what it wants to make up, and it sticks to that. And so, correct, Sean, I'm going to get their names right. It's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So, basically, they end up being thrown in the fiery furnace, right? And it was it was Nebuchadnezzar, who was the king in that time. And so once they came out the fire, they said it was a 4th person that was in that fire with them, which was the angel, right? The Son of God. And then Nebuchadnezzar said, oh, there can't be any other God. And there's no other God, right? But it's like, why did it have to get that far? To the point where you got to throw 3 innocent men, right, in a furnace because of your ignorance. Because really, you really knew it was a God. And even if you had any doubt, right, it's a way to go about it. You just really took advantage of your position, right? These are people who are put in position and they completely and utterly take advantage of their titles and their positions, right? Then I got another one for you. Who was the one who had to walk around? Let's ask the internet, because the internet, everything's on the internet. Who was the king who ended up walking around like a beast on all 4s? Listen. Who was the king? No, go back. Which king ended up Which king walked around on all 4s like a beast? Almost sound like a skinwalker, don't it? Let's play it.
built.
This is another one that fell. Like,
what not? The kingdom is taken from you until you know God rules.
Y'all, this is the... So it was Nebuchadnezzar. I knew I wasn't tripping. It was that same king. King Nebuchadnezzar. He just would not stop. It was me. It was I. I did this. I did this. I did this. Me. And he was in the king of Babylon. And that was the same king also who ended up getting turned into a freaking beast. They said he had nails like claws. He went out there and ate grass and grazed like the animals, right? Grazed on grass like the animals. He was literally turned into a freaking beast, right? Look at all this stuff that I got, that I did, that me, and I did all this. But everything was of God. Everything was God's, right? Even his ruling. And it's like, these people don't get enough, right? They running around playing God in people's lives, being destructive, being destroyers, right? They're mad because God put us people up here to speak on certain things, right? A lot of us been through some very nasty, foul things, but it was to go out there and help other people. And we go out there and we're doing our jobs innocently. And you got these people sitting in these turtleneck clubs, sitting high and looking low, right? And then sending things and people our way, right? Like, I went inside the grocery store, y'all. People would not believe me when I tell y'all what I seen, right? On another one of my video, I was talking about these people with these meat suits, right? And like they share, it's not them anymore. It's almost like they share themselves with, see, it's a difference between a person serving something dark and they share their meat suit with that darkness. And then you got others who's otherworldly and they put on meat suits, right? And another one of my videos, and I don't think I ended up posting it, I was talking about like lizard people. And I said that when I went inside this store, right, it did not look like something demonic. And it was like a person that was planning something dark using them, and it was sharing his meat suit. It looked like a freaking reptilian that had put on a meat suit, right? It looked like, it's this movie, y'all, and I cannot find this movie. I done looked up high and low for this movie, and in this movie, it was like these reptilians, and it was like the president, right? And like other people that ran next to the president, right? And they would go out there and they had on like regular people looking like meat suits. They looked like regular people, but when they went in the back from their daily run or whatever it was they was doing from being in the outside world, they would unzip themselves, like unzip the human suit and then be their reptilian selves, right? That's what this man looked like in the grocery store. And I had like this meat in my hand. He said, "You gonna eat that meat? You gonna eat that meat? What kind of meat is that? You gonna eat that meat?" And he was slobbering and everything, right? And I'm looking like, this is not a person who has this ability. This is a person who this is like a reptilian with a meat suit on, right? And so it was a girl in there, right, that was sent up there as well, a weirdo creeping around, and she tried to come up there and like stop me and the guy. But as I'm talking to him, right, I cannot focus in on completely what he's saying because I'm looking at him, but I can see out the peripheral of my eye. This girl, it's like you got the regular aisles, right, and then at the end of the aisles is the shelves, and I see this weirdo. So he was Caucasian, right, and he was like all short and chunky with stuff just completely displaced. It was not normal, y'all. It was not normal, right? But as I'm talking to him, looking at him, and he's slobbering as this. I mean, like slobbering, like it wasn't just a little bit of like drool. It was like when he seen that meat, it was like, oh my god, right? I don't know if reptilians eat meat, right? And so I'm seeing her at the periphery of my eye, like, like holding on to the shelf, like all doing this, and like, you know, like somebody like trying not to be seen, but they so like, oh, it's her, right? She at the end of the shelf, like holding on to the shelf, looking all down, grabbing the side of the shelf, ducking and dodging and dodging and ducking, right? And I'm looking at her at the periphery of my eye, like, what the fuck, right? Then she like step up and then step back, right? Y'all, it was the craziest thing. And so he like, what are you going to do with that meat? What are you going to do with that meat? So I'm like, what you mean what I'm going to do with the meat, right? Like, well, I'm not understanding what you're saying. But what's even crazier is that they didn't have any meat up there. And so I knocked on the back part where they cut the meat up at, and I asked the man, I said, y'all got some beef shank? And he said, hold on, let me go see. And so he went back there and asked the dude, thank God he told the truth, because y'all want me some beef shank really bad. And so he like, yeah, we just got some in, but you got to cut them up. So he came back out, he was like, yeah, we got some, you got like a couple minutes, like 5 or 10 minutes or so. He said, I got to cut them fresh, and they just came in, you just left up. He's like, they just came in. And so I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I ain't in no rush, whatever, they take your time. So he come out with a whole stack of them, and I'm picking them off the top, right? And as I'm picking them at the top off, I'm picking off what I want, right? Because he had like a big tray of them in his hand. And I'm like, you ain't got to homie, like, I'm cool. I ain't got nothing else to do, right? You could take your time. And so I'm picking off what I want, and this man comes up, right? Now, what's crazy, let me back up. When I first went to the store, it was only like maybe 1 or 2 people in the store. It looked like a dad and his daughter. They was coming out. It was another guy. And I think it was a woman, if I'm not mistaken, over by the vegetables, because you can see the vegetables and stuff when you first go in the store. And so, but by them basically 3, because it was 2 sets. So by basically those 3 walking out, it was only 1 person and me in the store, right? Out of nowhere, all these people start coming in the store, right? Even today when I went somewhere, all of a sudden, all these people start coming, y'all. It's the funniest shit ever. And so I'm picking off my beef shank. This man is coming around walking up, right, from behind. And I see him, but I'm kind of like still trying to pick out what I'm picking out. And I'm talking to the guy that's holding the meat. Then, and so he coming up from behind the guy. I kind of like see him out of my peripheral. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, he looked displaced a little bit, but I'm still focusing on what I'm focused on. So after I grabbed my meat, right, I had so much meat in my hands that I had to lay them across the where the other meats was and stuff, like the refrigerator part. So I can kind of look and make sure that's what I want and that's what I'm getting. As I'm doing that, the man go ahead and walk around, start putting the other meat up on the counter shelf thing, right? I kind of even see, right, when a man say something to me about the meat, I didn't hear him right away exactly what he said. So basically he said, what are you going to do with all that meat? What are you going to do with all that meat? What are you going to do with all that meat, right? And so I said, huh? And it made the other man kind of like, he didn't fully turn around, but I seen him kind of go like this. And he kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this, right? Then as he's still putting the meat up there, he watching this black girl, right, doing all this on the side corner, right? Y'all, he like, I gotta go, right? He ended up going walk back to the back. He went on ahead and went back in the back. And I know he had to be thinking like, what the fuck just happened that fast, right? This is some weird shit. And so I'm standing there talking to him. She back there waving across the shelves and ducking and dodging in between the aisles, right? Like, I don't see her. Even the guy seen her, right? The guy I was talking to, the reptilian guy. And so he said, like, are you going to cook it or what you going to do? I said, you kind of like make it like a roast. And we standing there talking and she's so on her mind. Just she all in between the damn always, all hanging on the shelf, y'all. It was the craziest thing, just ducking and dodging, dodging and ducking, ducking and dodging, y'all. Ducking and dodging and dodging and ducking. And as I'm explaining to him about how I'm going to cook the meat, I'm like, you normally make it like how you make a roast and whoop. Like, he looking like, I'm not going to cook that shit at all. I'm going to eat it just as is, right? But we still was talking, right? Now, she found her cue, right? She found her cue, which was to come in and act like it's a save a sister, right? She wanted to come in and act like she wanted to know about the meat all of a sudden, right? Her mind was going 50,000 miles per hour. And so by him stopping and talking to me, she figured that would be her punchline to enter into, right? And so she go ahead and walk up, kind of like, she didn't even walk up, y'all. She glides up, walk up, like, and glides herself up into his lane, right? She's so busy trying to look in my face that she didn't look up at him at first. So she like, oh, what is that? And what kind of meat is that? And acting like she all interested, but already knew who she was. That's what was funny. And so, anyways, y'all, I had to turn my thing back on. And so, y'all, hold the hell up now. Y'all, as she talking and acting like she wanted to know what type of meat this is, right? She wanted to get up in my face with her weird ass. Like I said, I knew that she was somebody who dated my ex. She was a weirdo. And what's even crazier is I guess she figured that I wouldn't know who she was. This is the same person that I seen like a year prior. I was at Walmart one time with one of my guy friends, and she was in there shopping for a baby, like a little girl or something. And so she tried to act like, do you know, this, that, and the other, and da-da-da-da-da, do you know what this is for, and da-da-da-da. I said, girl, right? But I just knew that something about her wasn't right, because even when I was inside of Walmart this time, because she kept trying to make conversation. And I'm like, you ain't got no other kid? She's like, yeah, I got another daughter, but it's been so long, and this, and the other, right? Now, mind y'all, I got a daughter, and I had my kids 15 years apart. My son ended up passing. And so it's crazy, like, I'm watching her in my face trying to take my story. Then I went into another store, which was a clothing store, and I seen her in there too. And now the same person is showing up to the the grocery store, right? So I'm only can imagine she was somebody who was talking to my ex, probably got pregnant, right? Probably getting beat up and all kind of stuff, right? These people are psychopaths. And so anyways, I guess she figured since it was so long that I wouldn't remember, but I did. And so I just played it off. But what was funny, though, this was what's funny, is that the man was standing there looking at her, and she did not look up at this man at first. She trying to act like she interested about the meat, right? Once again, the same thing she did in Walmart. And when she finally looked up at this dude, right? Oh my God, y'all. She looked up and she was like, yeah, because something. She looked up and she like, I seen her whole spirit jump. Oh my God. Y'all, you got to be more careful. That's what her ass get. You hear me? What one can take, somebody else can't. You understand? Her mental was not ready for that. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody want to walk a mile in your shoes and gonna drop dead. Anyways, y'all, that man, Y'all, she took off. I went on here. I turned around. I'm like, yeah, we supposed to make it like this and like that, right? And I'm walking away. Okay, yeah, I gotta go. You know, and then I'm the type of person, I don't do all that small talk shit, right? The meat is the meat. If you really interested on how you make the meat, I don't think that man was interested in making no type of, I don't even think he was interested in cooking no meat. He was gonna eat that meat straight out the package, pure point blank. And so, I went on here and went up to the front and paid for my stuff on the out of the store. And so when I get to the car, my grandson in the car and my friend in the car, I asked him, I said, you see somebody walking in the store that looked like this and that and did that? So he said, I really wasn't paying attention because I had my head down on, on my phone. And then he was back there, talking to my grandson. My grandson was in the back of his car seat, running off at the mouth, right? Probably trying to, about to run him through the roof of the car. And so, he said, I seen somebody that looked like this and I seen this. He said, but I didn't see the other thing, right? And I said, dude, I really want to sit here until these people came out. I said, dude, it's the craziest shit just happened, right? But I went on here and went home and cooked and mind my business, y'all. But, y'all, I look back over that whole situation. I was just cracking up laughing. I said to myself, I said, who granddaddy with this Cool Water Ranch on? It's always somebody granddad with some Bengay and some Cool Water Ranch, that Cool Water cologne that be strong as fuck, that burn your nose when they walk past, right? Who got this Bengay on? Who's stalking the hell out of some of us, y'all? Somebody is upset, child. Anyways, y'all. Time has passed and I'm getting tired. I don't feel like going on and on and on. If I think about something else, I'm gonna get back on here. We talking about the Meshack here right in the Bendigo. Meshack here right in the Bendigo. I want to tell y'all, a lot of us are being trailed, followed, stalked, gawked, and everything else, right? They staging stuff, setting up stuff, paying people to do all kind of crazy stuff to prove a point that you ain't who God said you was. They don't understand that they're irrelevant. Everything that they doing is irrelevant. Because one thing about it is, God gonna make a way out of no way for us. And there's always going to be something available to us no matter what it is that they do, right? Some of these people have crossed our boundaries, act like we don't have any rights, right? They've been out here doing a whole bunch. But one thing about it is, I don't want to get too stuck off into what they doing, right? I started to notice, even with my numbers and stuff like that on my end, God been showing me something with that. But he also told me don't get stuck off into that, right? There's so many people who got a mission to do. And they get on the thing to do what God has called them to do. And all these things begin to take place around them. I mean, the highest level of corruption begins to take place around them. And these people, a lot of people want to be a part of your story. You understand? And they will go out of their way to be a part of your story. Weirdos, creepy. That dang on cat back there scratching that door. Stop it! Stop it, you hear me? I'm going to get his butt. But so many people want to become a part of our story. And I'm starting to notice more and more how people are letting people, places, and things go. No. Go. I'm not playing with you. A lot of these people are getting stuck at hello and they can't get their messages out because of what people are doing to them, which is understandable. But don't get stuck there. You understand? They gonna do what it is that they want to do. They gonna follow you around. They want to become irrelevant. They want to become relevant. They want to be relevant. Even when it comes to, like, the one day I got on here and I was talking about the experience that I had. And out of nowhere, all these different people started sending me these weird-ass emails, right? And I don't honestly believe that it was these different places that were sending me this. I believe that somebody had hacked into the system, that press, and started to send me this thing, right? Wanted me to pay attention to them. Then start putting all these weirdos in the forefront of me trying to act like me, right? So if I, like, a lot of people know that I do a lot of walking around and stuff when I talk. Today I'm not doing that because for one, I'm tired, and for three, I got me a brand new desk, honey, and a chair, comfy. Honey, it goes up and down, tilt forward and backward. And I got me one of those things that you sit on the chair and it beside your back. Honey, child, honey. You understand me? As long as you got your comfortability, nothing they doing matter, right? They out here messing with your funds, finances, money, and all that. But these people who stand in these positions, it's their time to fall. It's just that time. So don't get stuck and caught up in what it is that they doing. Every dog has his day. Yeah, I seen somebody on there walking around, putting their pants up, doing all this, right? And I said, who they trying to act like? I sent it to somebody. I sent it to somebody in my family, and they like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? I said, who they trying to act like? He said, they most definitely trying to act like you, but they ain't got it down. He said, what is this mess? He said, ooh, they fucking with you heavy. I said, somebody granddaddy with some Cool Water Ranch on. With a turban. A turban and some Cool Water Ranch. Y'all stop playing with me. Oh shoot. Anywho's. Y'all, get y'all ways, y'all. I gotta go. And I'll be back. Only if it's God's will. Okay? Okay. Y'all have a blessed day.